Hey guys, here's some advice from my solo leveling journey to become the best version of myself, to become 1% better every single day. And I'm still learning and I'm still working, and this is how you can too. The Pareto principle plus the Parkinson's principle, when combined, allow us one, to work efficiently, and two, to use our time wisely. So, the Pareto principle says that 80% of our results come only from 20% of our work, our efforts. So, that means we are supposed to focus on certain important aspects which will yield more results in a chapter, in a topic, in your studies, in planning, anything in general. And Parkinson's principle says that work will expand according to the time available or the time you give a task. So, how do we combine these two effectively? Imagine you're giving your final exam and there are only 2 minutes left and you have the biggest 10-mark question remaining. What do you do in those 2 minutes? Mostly you'll try to write key points of that answer, right? You'll not try to elaborate, you'll not try to give examples or anything, and that may be necessary for the answer. But at that time, when you're in a time crunch, your brain tends to focus on important things. And I'm not saying that we should work on a time crunch, but yeah, we should not give ourselves that excess time where we just end up procrastinating and the quality of work does not change or may even deteriorate. So the next time you get an essay, don't give yourself 2 weeks to write it. Give yourself 4 days to write it and keep yourself busy with other tasks the rest of the days, so that you don't keep feeling that pressure that, oh my god, I do have to write that essay, so why not just start now? No, you will start at the end of the 4 days only. And I know that there is a significant population here saying that we are master procrastinators and we always do things end moment, so this should work for us. But once again, I'm also not talking about working on a time crunch. Give yourself an adequate amount of time, but do not give yourself any extra time. That actually, if you give yourself 2 weeks to finish an essay, you will take 2 weeks to finish an essay. But if you give yourself 2 hours to finish an essay, you will finish that essay in 2 hours. So if you deliberately give yourself less time, you somehow will focus only on the important aspects of a topic, a chapter, a subject. And that will actually give you even more efficient results. Because there is another law called law of diminishing returns, and it says that if you study for 2 hours effectively, quality study, that is good. But if you try to extend it for 6 to 7 hours, it may not actually be that beneficial. It will just tire you out. The Pareto principle says that maximum results that you get are only from a few focused times that you have done some quality study of important topics, important subjects, given importance to the right things. But how do you know, what to give importance to? So before you even start studying, you have to review the chapter, the topic, make a flowchart, whatever you do. You have to know what is important, what is not important, look at past year question papers, all of that. And now that you know what's important, deliberately give yourself less time. And then you will be able to focus on those important aspects because one, you have less time, and two, you actually know what's important and what's going to give you the most results. One thing that you can do to make this a lot easier is to do one extra thing than you usually would do. So you know how you compare yourself to someone else, all right, and you say that, hey, this guy goes for a tennis class, so I'm sure I can do better than him because he actually spends some extra time in a tennis class and I get that extra time for studying. But then the exam comes and then the result comes and actually that person has performed better than you and you don't understand why. So I'm pretty sure that some of you would have made this comparison. I have to in school. So there are a few reasons why this happens. One, obviously, it can be that this student is good in that particular subject and has been studying regularly. takes classes. Yes, sure, that reason is always there. The second reason, this student was doing one extra thing that gave him a break from academics, that allowed him to stimulate his mind in a different way, and that actually made his studies, whenever he did study, more effective. Third thing, because he had less time, he focused on important aspects of it, what I've been talking about in this video. And not only did he focus on important aspects of it, that pressure mechanism works here. So, since you have 4 hours and that person has 2 hours, that person has a lesser chance of procrastinating than you do. Since you have 4 hours, you might tell yourself that I have more time, let me just relax a little, things like that. But that person is working under pressure. And once again, I'm not saying that you must deliberately work under pressure and put yourself under a time crunch. No. But giving yourself extra time does not help. That is what I'm trying to explain in this video. So I hope that you understand that why that other person performed better than you, and that sometimes, even though it feels weird to say that, hey, go play, you'll get better marks. But sometimes that is true. The kind of break that that can give you, the kind of refreshment that that can give your brain, and in the end, the kind of right amount of pressure that it can put on your brain really helps you to do well.